die like right in the beginning of Vayechi. Why is it called life? By his grandmother also. Remember Sarah, it says Chaye Sarah was a Parsha a few weeks ago. It talks about her death. She was buried in because a tzaddik lives forever in the sense that his 120 years here, as he was working and as his journey was going closer and closer to Hashem and to purity, he was purifying his soul. He was beautifying his soul. He was making his soul ready for all the enjoyment and the kedusha of ever, the closest Hashem of ever, which you can't imagine such pleasure. It's pleasurable, very, very pleasurable. More than anything we can do down here, even if you like pizza or skiing or both, hot chocolate, it's better. It's better. So that's Vayechi. In short, it's the last pasuk, last parsha, and this whole Bereshit was the beginning of the Jewish people. It started with Abraham, our father, and then Yitzchak, then Yaakov, and in the beginning there were such rough times, as Kayla explained and taught us so beautifully. Then towards the end, everything seemed to be working out, was working out. Yosef and his brothers made peace. His father came down. They were treated beautifully in Goshen. Regards from the water up here. Maybe it's my imagination.
Does she know that we're, do you feel something here?
She wants to, she has to leave and she wants, yes, she does. Oh, okay. So far, so good. I thought I did, but it would be imagination.
So I don't see it. We have this whole space.
Okay, so far, so good.
Then we won't hear her.
So,
my mother said imagination is the biggest nation in the world.
Right,
Ooh,
our youngest sister.
Imagining that I hope.
Hi, welcome. Oh, beautiful. Look, she's smiling already. Mommy loves her. When my oldest was born, I was going down the stairs in the Mikdal Emek singing, "This mommy loves this baby." And then a man walked up and said, that was my song. This mommy loves this baby. So this is a tzaddikim. And then we were given a good place in Egypt. And then what is Shemos? It starts the slavery, but it also has a good ending. We know the story's not over. It's not yet good. We know we're in the middle of the story. It hasn't finished. It's not yet good because it's all going to be good. Hashem is not leaving us to like at the end of some cliff. He didn't create the world and us to be in trouble. He created us for geula, for redemption, for closeness, for joy, for life, for light. And so we learned that in Vayechi. So it's something very, very, very beautiful that I really, really want to talk about. That I'm skipping a lot to get to something very, very special. I've sort of touched upon this before, but now that we're going through the war and we're towards the end of time, should be in our days, maybe within 3 hours, we're now with 2.5 hours, who knows? But with Hashem's help, what is Mashiach and what is the Geula? Who is going to be redeemed? And how come it's taking so many centuries? Like, where are you, Hashem? And why is it like dragging out this bitter, dark gullus? It's bitter and dark from through the years. Jews were in poverty. Jews were hurt by the non-Jews. Today, as we can see, Jews were hurt by the Yetzer Hara and left Hashem or drifted away. But every single one of us, every single Jew has a pure neshama that's pure gold that can't be broken and can't be stopped and the light cannot be extinguished. It like is lit forever, each and every one, every single Jew, even the farthest and the lowest. And let's learn about this in our Parsha today because it's very, very pertinent for today. So Yaakov's blesses his children, and how does he wants to tell them about the end of days, about what's going to happen at the end of time, right? So it says in the Pasuk, Yaakov called his sons together and said, I want to tell you what's going to happen at the end of days. It wasn't just a story. He saw that his children were 12 tribes, 12 tzaddikim, pure and good and holy. And he said, we can bring the Geula, we can bring Mashiach, because the holy good ones will bring Mashiach. And all of a sudden, the lights were turned off, the Shekhinah left him. He no longer had Ruach HaKodesh. He was used to Ruach HaKodesh being one with Hashem. Every word that came out of his mouth, Shekhinah medaberes mitokro, the Shekhinah was talking from his throat. All of a sudden, he didn't know what to say. He lost his Ruach HaKodesh. In a split second, he said to himself, what is Hashem telling me? Why is he giving me this message? What does he want from me? Which he did his whole life. Which is good actually to do our whole lives. Whatever happens to us is a hint. It's guards. It's a hug. It's from Hashem. Hashem, what do you want? What are you telling me? So Yaakov, in a split second, from Pasuk 1 to Pasuk 2, realized Hashem is telling me I'm not supposed to reveal the end with my sons now. It's not the right thing, or maybe it's not the right time. So let's go into the Pasuk and see how we learn this from the two Pasuk in chapter 49, Pasuk 1. It's on the first page. Does everybody see it? Could you read the Hebrew of 1?
Vayikra Yaakov el banav. Yaakov called his sons. Vayomer hey hasaku. And they come together. Agidra lahem asher yikra Hashem v'acharis hayom. That I might tell you what will happen to you in the days to come.
Great. So thank you very much. Yaakov said to his sons, let's get together. I want to tell you what's going to happen at the end of days. What would we expect the next pasuk to be? What's going to happen at the end of days, right? He said, come together. I want to reveal to you. I want to start the process. You jumped in there, Naksha. I want to tell you. So what's the next pasuk? So tell us. What is the next pasuk? Who would like to read it? Hi, could you read in Hebrew and somebody will join you in English? It's on the next page.
Pay strong attention. Listen to Israel, your father.
Thank you. So, we're on the second pasuk. Instead of telling us about the end of days, he gives us another invitation. He again invites his sons and says, now, get together, let's get together, and listen to me, to the sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel, your father. So another invitation. And then what does he go on to do? He still doesn't tell his sons about the end of days. He starts to bless them. What's going on here? The Torah is teaching us something. We're going to learn what happened between those two psukim, 1 and 2.
Then the sons of Yaakov, and then listen to Yisrael, your father.
That's a very good point. We're going to get to that. You caught that, like, yeah, because every word we learn from the Torah, like diamonds.
There's no mistake.
Yeah, nothing is for nothing. Yeah, also for us, that's for nothing. It's all from Hashem. So the first pasuk, Yaakov was thinking, we're going to bring it together. The holy Jewish throne, righteous tzaddikim will bring the Geula, will bring Mashiach. So he said the word Hey Asvu. In the word Hey Asvu is the word Osef, Asifa. It's a gathering of like-minded people. Like if you have an Osef, you have a collection. People collect dolls. People collect stamps. It's all the same. It's called Osef. It's called the collection. It's called a gathering of like-minded. We're all together in one thing. So he felt, together us tzaddikim will bring Mashiach. And then, wow, it's just so amazing. I don't want to miss a word of this. The Shekhinah left him. The lights went out. And he felt what I'm about to reveal is not right or not the right time. And he thought that the great people who lived a pure and holy life could bring about the rectification and perfection of the world. Those who were overcome by evil, those who fell behind and did not perfect themselves, what can I do? What can I do? They had their chance over and over again. They chose something else. They're not worthy. Sounds like it makes sense, doesn't it? Try. What can I do? I can't solve everyone's problems. We try to bring them close and show the light and love of Hashem. Hashem does not want that. Hashem said to Yaakov, if that's your position, I'm leaving. The Shekhinah left him. If that's what you want, I'm out of this. If that's how you want to bring the final redemption, with just the holy and the perfect, and those who are not successful, who did not overcome evil, are not in the picture, I'm not part of the deal. I don't agree. So what did Hashem want? This is what Hashem wanted and wants. That every single solitary neshama soul in the world, you and me, and you and you and you and him and her. Doesn't matter where the soul is. Doesn't matter where the person fell to, how many mistakes she made, how many times she chose bad over good, how many times she was confused and got lost, or how far she was, until each and every one is included in the picture and comes to be part of the beauty and the holiness and the love and truth of Torah. No Geula, no Mashiach. I don't want it. Hashem says it won't work.
Wait, so does that mean every Jewish person has to go to Torah?
Hang on. Yes. Could take 2.5 hours. Hashem said, these are the words of the Eretz Moshe Dorot. Hashem said, I did not create the world only for those who are successful in my service. I created the world for everyone to be successful. It's a lot more work. It's a lot harder. It's going to take a lot more time, like centuries more time, hundreds of years more. There are holy tzaddikim through the centuries that could have brought Mashiach. Or Chaim, Baal Shem Tov, many. But that is my intent, Hashem says, my kavanah in creating the world. Mashiach will come only when no one is left outside. No one. That's it. Hashem says, I will wait. Mashiach will wait. It's important you, Yaakov, as the leader of the Jewish people, you understand this focal issue.
So does that
That's a good question. And Erev Rav in my mind is a question mark. I don't even know. But whether it does or it doesn't, it's a very good question. And if anyone knows the answer, Chaya,
We're so mixed up, and I don't know
True enough.
But what about the people, the non-Jewish people, who, let's say Hamas? I mean, I've heard the concept of it's going to transform this evil into light, you know? I mean, to me, I think they need to be obliterated. So, I don't know.
The way I understand it's also a very good question is we're talking about the Jewish people now that not one soul will be left behind. And at that point in history, at that point of the redemption, as it unfolds, the final redemption, then our light will spread to the nations. The nations will come to believe Hashem is one and his name is one. There's one God in the whole world, and that's Hashem, Elokei Yisrael, the God of Israel. And they'll come and be with us. If I don't know if everyone will, so those who are enemies or seek to kill us or hurt us, I think they're going to be out of the picture.
I mean, I think right now the differentiation, there's no blur. It's either like really clear what's good, what's evil, and there's people that are siding with the evil, and I think they're going to go down. They're going to go down.
Yeah.
They have a choice. That's what they want.
Because good will prevail, good and truth.
Yeah.
But for the person and people that have a Jewish neshama, it's called good. As much as it could be stuck in the mud, stuck in sin, stuck in a low, dark place, the definition of a Jewish neshama is pure and good, underneath it all. underneath it, inside. That's the point of truth. And that's going to come out. Hashem is going to, we're looking like, oh, when's this going to happen? Like, we don't have all, 100. Hashem is going to sprinkle. What does the Navi say? He's going to sprinkle us with purifying waters. He's going to turn our hearts to recognize Him, to love Him, to be close to Him, to want to be good. And it's going to happen. And we're all going to come on board because the train is not leaving till it happens. Yaakov Avinu understood this. It took him like around a half a second between how long it takes to read the first and the second pasuk, and immediately understood the point that not one soul was left behind. And those are the two words. He'asfu is a gathering. Osef. We're all one. We're all holy tzaddikim. We'll bring Mashiach. Ramchal in Derech Hashem talks about this. He says it's an idea of kibbutz, of shleimin, that the world will get together from the perfect guys. The bad will just like fall, like dandruff will fall apart. But no, Hashem says, and then that's the first pasuk we just read. By the second is hit kapsu, from the word kibbutz. Hit kap. A kibbutz is kibbutz volumes, the ingathering of all those that are Nidcha Yisrael make arba kantos haaretz. That word kibbutz is different than come together. This is the tzaddikim, this is everyone. Those that are far, far away. Yaakov got the point. And the second pasuk, he invited his children with the word hitkapsu, come. Hashem wants every single Jew, one in India and one in Manhattan, the Lower East Side and the Upper West Side and everywhere in between. Nothing's going to happen until we do. Nothing. The train is not going to be moving until you come. The tzaddikim cannot reveal and bring the geula alone. They cannot rectify the world. They are not enough. Why? They're amazing. They're wonderful. They're holy. They're great. Yaakov understood that in a split second. It's not possible. We are needed. Oh, lucky for us. We are needed. Each and every one of us. Why is it taking so long for Mashiach to come? Because Hashem's great Rahmanas, His mercy, is that He's not going to close the doors until each and every one of us is inside. He has tremendous Rahmanas. And the train is stuck. And they're already saying, no, Hong Kong. The Degel flag would go down or up when the train leaves. Degel went in the direction it goes when the train's leaving. Start, let's go, let's move. On the way to Mission. No. Wait, one more person is coming. One more person is getting on the train before it leaves. Not leaving until we're all on. And that's kibbutz. Hashem, in His true infinite kindness, is choshev machshavos. Vayidach mimenu nidach. He keeps thinking how to bring back together somebody who's far, far away. Nidach, place of like forgotten. Some people are like in a pit. Some people are in a pit. They're in a pit and it's dark there, it's cold there, and they've been there for years. And they feel so alone and so forgotten or forsaken, like nobody cares about me, nobody notices if I'm going to rot here forever. And I'm like, I'm gone, I'm a goner, nobody cares about me, I'm all alone. And all of a sudden, in that dark pit, you know what they feel? They feel something. Feel something. What is it? It's a box of matches. They open it up, they light a match, a little light in a dark cave illuminates a lot, like our little Hanukkah candles illuminates the world and our hearts. All of a sudden they see a candle. So they light the candle, the match. The candle just gives more light and they see a rope. Somebody was here before me. He left the match, he left the candle, and he left the rope. With that rope, they climb out of their pit, out of their dungeon. Hashem is taking care of us in the lowest places. The ability with the soul to light ourselves up, to come out, to crawl out, and to climb out. And that will be so great final redemption, so full of light, with each and every one of us is included. Otherwise, the simcha won't be complete. If you have a simcha, not everyone's in the simcha, it's not complete. Each and every one of us. This is what Hashem is telling Yaakov in those two sukkot of the end of Bereshit. And you asked a question about Yaakov and Yisrael, right? So it's a very good question. Yaakov is his name when he's fighting. First he fights Esav, remember, holding on to his heel. Then he fights the Malach of Esav, and he hurts himself with the gid in his thigh. That's the Milchama. Yaakov is a Milchama. Yaakov is lower than Yisrael. We can relate to Yaakov more. So first he says, come to Yaakov. It's relatable. He's a tzaddik that fell also. He's a tzaddik that can go very low and bring us up. Yisrael is higher. So in the same, once you come close to the light and love of Torah, you can then be B'nai Yisrael. You can then be part of Yisrael. Can you see over here? Or can anyone? Can everyone? Tissues. You can hold the side. Thanks. My hand is 99 right hand to right. So anyway, Yaakov really is the heel. Yaakov is the heel. The lower place that goes down to every Jew of Yisrael is his other name, where he fought with the angel and he was successful. He overcame. And it's beautiful because the word Yisrael, the first letters of the whole word, spells Yesh, Shishim, Ribo, Oisios, Latorah. There are 600,000 letters to the Torah. And there are also 600,000 original Jewish souls. Each of us has a letter in the Torah. Each of us is important because if even a part of a letter in the Torah is erased, the whole Torah is puzzled. The whole Torah is not kosher. We cannot read. We cannot say that bracha. We cannot be called up to the Torah and read from it. We have to roll it up, put it away. A part of letter corresponds 1 to 1. 600,000 Jews, original souls, 600,000 letters, 600,000 children of Yisrael, and each of us is front center. Without any one of us, there's no Geula, there's no Mashiach. And we learned this from those two sukkot. So, I'm just so excited about this that, aren't you? Like, isn't everyone? Thank you. I don't know, I'm just being dramatic. It's okay. Every soul counts. Every soul, even the ones far, far away. And actually, what are we? If I say, what am I? Well, I'm a soul. That's me forever. We might have a beautiful coat. Let's call it a fur coat, a mink coat, or take minks. I just heard yesterday it takes 200 minks to make a coat. No. So you have a beautiful synthetic coat, and you love it, and you wear it. It keeps you warm, and you wear it year after year. And it's hard to part with it. It gets old and torn. That's not you. That's not me. So my body, I love it. I take good care of it. It takes good care of me. It enjoys things like pizza and skiing and hot chocolate. It's not going to be with me after 120 years. The real me is my soul. Is my soul. And soul is pure and close to Hashem. I might not know it. I might be born to a family that doesn't even know they're Jewish, which I have a story about that. Wow. Wow. And yet it's there. Nothing can take it away. Nothing can extinguish it. Nothing can turn it off. It's that fiery bush that Moshe went and saw. The bush was on fire, but it wasn't destroyed. That's the Jewish soul. And each of us is going to come close to Hashem. Hashem has a lot of angels. Hashem has a lot of celestial, Srafim, Malachim. Each one is great. Each one is big. What does Hashem say in the Musaf of Yom Kippur? Avisatila Megushe Afar. I want to praise me, not those highly holy ones. Gushe Afar means a piece of earth. Us. Mechosre Dea, that lack mind or knowledge. May Reike Seichel, these minds are empty. Vehitila Sefer. That's who I want to praise me. So the Rav who gave this shir said he went to Hashem and he said, I fulfill all the criterion. I can put a V by everything. I have no seichel, I have no das, I'm made of a piece of clay. All you want, all that's left is for me to praise you. For me to praise you. Because he wants us more than those high, holy beings. And he doesn't let go of anyone. He doesn't give up on anyone. The reason that I wanted to talk about this is because what's going on now is David Gottlieb. Do you know who he is?
No.
Well, you know Rebbetzin Heller, Tzipara's husband, Tzipara Heller, married him as a second husband. Now she's Rebbetzin Tzipara Gottlieb. And he spoke, and he said, what should we daven for during this war? Which I think everyone, tackles with and wants to know. Said it's a very important job in the war will be over, and that all the soldiers will come home safely and whole and healthy, and that the captives as well. It's not enough. To daven that we all realize, us in this room and everyone every Jewish person and everywhere in the world, those United States politicians and all that they don't understand and they think we're like overreacting.
They think what?
They don't really believe that.
We should all, it's like a unbelievable. We should all realize it's from Hashem. Hashem ish Muhammad Hashem Shemo. Hashem is taking care. It's true we have a good army and we need a good army. And we need Ishtatus, which is called a good army in this situation. Doesn't God who the sick, he goes to the best doctor. The doctor doesn't cure him. The army doesn't save us. Only with Hashem. Only with Hashem. If we can realize that, daven for that, then we're not just going to win this war, it's going to be the last of the bring Mashiach. Do you have a place to sit? And I need another chair. He brings down Rabbi Gottlieb that in the 6-Day War in 1967, I'm sure none of you were born yet.
I was a year old.
You're a year old. I think you're the youngest one in this room.
I doubt that.
I always think I'm the oldest one. Good. That's what do you think I love about Bas Medrash? Every place in my world, I'm 10 years older than everyone else because I got married at 30 instead of 20, and all these circles are, like, anyway, now I feel like right at home. So 67 was the biggest military success in the whole century. 6 years later, the Yom Kippur War, 73. How did it happen? It's like saying, he gave an example, after World War II, the Armenians, 6 years later, would come and attack, America or Germany. Impossible. He said, we have to daven that we'll all realize it's from Hashem, because if we think, well, it's all me, because I'm smart, or, sharpshooter, or because I'm great, or I'm strong. It's for me, my dear children. Realize it and go far together. Realize it and I'll give you the hope. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. And that is what's happening now. That's what's happening now. There was a man, I can't believe this, maybe you've heard it. He said he didn't know about Shabbos. He didn't know about Yom Kippur. For them, Shabbos and Yom Kippur was a different galaxy, wasn't in their dictionary. And his friend, they were shooting, and the Chavlim were coming, and they ran out of ammunition. And they said, okay, this is it. And his friend said, God, Shem, if you get us home safely, I will start keeping Shabbos. And a miracle happened. All the noise of the rockets and the bombs and the shooting got farther and farther away until it was silent. They were saved. And this man, his friend, a few days before in Yom Kippur, made a barbecue. Not out of rebellion, not knowing. And now it's keeping showers. So the miracles that are happening, we're coming back with tefillah, sixes, with head, coming back to Hashem. That's going to grant us with our dear army, with the mysterious nefesh of our dear brothers and children to bring us back to Hashem. And we daven that everyone will come home safely, and me, and everyone will come close to Hashem. So you can say, like some people used to say to me, how come you care about my neshama and not me? I'm hungry. I want some attention. I want new pants. Why do you just care about my neshama, about like washing and all that? Firstly, I love you. And secondly, I love you. Who am I? I'm my neshama. I don't love just your body. I love all of you, which is your neshama, which is forever. And it's happening right now. So they would be so hard to see the coming of Mashiach real soon. And there's 3 questions. Can somebody please read the first one? It's on the first page. Our take home to love and live by. Sort of like is a synopsis of what we've been talking about. Yeah, Al, would you like number 1? Not a test. If anybody wants to join, don't get nervous.
I heard something really nice.
Oh, good.
She said that giving enough chance for all of us.
Come in. That's exactly what. Perfect. We spoke about that. Not one is missing the train. Mashiach will not come until that year that doesn't even know he's Jewish in Moscow or in Timbuktu. Hashem will sprinkle him with the holiness and the love and the light of his Torah because he loves him. Thank you. Number 2. Bina?
When will the final redemption come?
When we're all on the train.
Before Mashiach?
On the train. And the 3rd question?
Why did Yaakov lose his divine inspiration when he wanted to reveal to his son the end of days? I want to know that. Why?
Why? That's a very good question.
What's the answer?
Because he wanted to gather in his sons, the tzaddikim, the holy, perfect ones. We can bring Mashiach. He said, no, I'm out of here. My Shekhinah is going away. It's everyone. It's every Jew of every generation, the lowest and the farthest. So that's why he lost it, because he wanted something very pure. He didn't realize at that moment until Hashem left him, and he said, why did Hashem leave me? Oh, it's everyone. It's not just the great. It's not just the successful. It's not just the great. And what does this mean for us?
We have to wait for everybody.
Yeah, but it could take an hour or 2. It doesn't have to take 1,000 years.
It can come close.
Because Hashem and his Rahmanas will bring us close to him.
Even all those people with all the tattoos that are smoking marijuana and
Especially
looking at
them.
a Buddha balloon, and it's like,
Especially them. Yes. Yes, because they all have the pure Jewish soul that Hashem is waiting to redeem. It's from, like you said, it's Rahmanas. What does this mean for all of us? Like, what do we take home with this? We're waiting for every Jew. We don't feel, it's their problem. Main thing is I'm on the right path. I'm doing mitzvahs. That, you have to like eat the thing, sleep in the bed you made, like, no problem. But we learn from our father Yaakov. We have to include and worry and help and daven for everyone to come inside. Now, how can we do it? How can we do it? By davening, praying for them, by making a Kiddush Hashem, picking up the tissue, saying thank you, being honest. And I add one. I think this brings people close by being happy. Because I know especially 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds, if they see me sad, like, who needs it? I'm going to look like this in another 40 years. Like, boring, not worth it. I'm going to learn now. I'm not going to waste a whole life like you did. or you are in the middle, to be sad, like Lisa. There's a lot of alternatives out there that are like winking, a lot of lights, fun, enjoy, be happy. The truth is, the only happiness is Torah and mitzvahs, because it's the only real happiness, the only eternal happiness. Most of the world doesn't know that, but we want to know that. Let's be happy. Hooray! We said Moida Ani today. We made shahakal on your coffee. It's kosher sugar. What? It's kosher. It's flour that was sifted. Like hooray! And that makes us so happy because let's face it. At this moment, I'm not talking about an hour from now. How many of us are in the world that know how Hashem? That know how much Hashem loves us? 0.00037 or something, like very few. You get up and start dancing, fly out of bed and dance. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. And Hashem's main pleasure and joy is from us in this lonely place. And that's what we can learn from this. A muscle man can lift 100-pound weight. But a little thin, person, if he lifts something of 10 pounds, wow, how did you do that? Wow. Us little ones, we say one bracha, we smile, we try. Hashem gets tremendous. I didn't make this up, the rabbis say this. Tremendous nachas. So let's come together as Yisrael. Let's bring up the Yaakov people that are far and fighting, and all of us, even the Yaakov and me, I won't say Yaakov, I want to say like the low places for me, the dry places that are questioning or far or heavy or hard. Let me bring that up to you, Hashem. Not just when I'm shiny and, on, a road. Even when I'm down, let me bring that to you. Let me have patience and love to myself. So this story,
Please forgive me for saying it, but it's really such a struggle to be happy at this time. So many people lost so many boys. Lost his voice. A friend of mine lost her son. People in the stores where you go, you see everybody. It's not looking so happy, I feel like you need to relate to that. Can't just be, everything's fine.
We can't flaunt in their eyes. Like
But it's also our side. It's not just their side. Their loss is our loss. I feel like everybody's like my loss.
I feel what you're saying. I'm so glad you brought it up because
I'm davening for so many soldiers. I don't know. It's really bothering me. I just feel like I could sit and cry.
We should sit and cry and feel for them, which is us, and feel for us, which is them. But to sit and cry 24/7 is not helping them or us. So Rabbi Nassan wrote to his son a letter. They were having the Constantine, those guys that they kidnapped 6, 7, 8-year-old boys, took them to the Russian army for 25, 30 years. They came back a 40-year-old. If they came back, not knowing they're Jewish. So he said, how can I be happy? What's going on? They're being hurt. They're being taken away from Judaism. His father said, cry for them, daven for them, say tefillah for them. At the end of the session, say for an hour, you pray and cry your heart out. Then the rest of the day, do your mitzvahs happily, because that's going to save them. The sadness that Hashem doesn't want. He wants our belief and hope in Him, which could be our joy, not to flaunt, but the inside, not joy of cares, God forbid, but the joy of I'm a Jew. Every mitzvah I do brings the Lord. Every mitzvah I do is another stone on the base of English, another soldier saved. So that's why I understand. Love and care each other. So we just had Hanukkah. I miss it very much, but I kept this little light inside my heart, and I hope it warms me and lights me the whole year. And it does, because Hanukkah hasn't finished and it comes with us the whole year. So I don't know if you heard the story, but this is one of my top 10. I have 100 top 10 stories. But meanwhile, wow. So this couple in the south of the United States, somewhere near where you live, or where you live, somewhere near there, very, very rich man, and he made up with his wife when they were dating not to tell their future family that they're Jewish. Nobody should know. They have to live a total life of non-Jews. There's no Saturday, there's no Shabbos. Yeah, there's no Rosh Hashanah, no Yom Kippur, no nothing. So his son turns 13, and every year he made it very rich. He buys him a really nice birthday gift. He takes him to the mall and says, choose what you want, electronic toy, those things that fly around and take pictures, drones, you name it, it's yours. He says, Daddy, I see this other store. I want to check it out. It's an old, secondhand Judaica store. I said, no, yes, all your friends want, they do anything for a toy from this store. What do you want to go there? Daddy, I want. Okay, it's your birthday. Goes in there, picks up everything, a menorah, a Hanukkah menorah. It's old looking, made out of wood. His father said, no, not that, because he doesn't want to hint to him that they're Jewish. See, his father went through the war, the Shoah. He lost everything. So he was so hurt and pain. And he said, I don't want this to happen to the next generation. I can't. His heart was blocked. He was so pained and sad, he gave up on Yiddishkeit. He said, Daddy, I really want it. So, okay, how much does it cost? And the man said, I'm sorry, it's not for sale. Got it from a very special place. Not for sale. He said, please, tell me your amount. I'll pay for it. And he did. And the son was so happy. It's his 13-year-old birthday gift. And he brings it home. He puts it on his desk. And he looks at it and he loves it. And one day he was just like touching it. And his father hears from downstairs a bang. It broke. He comes up and starts yelling at his kid, clumsy, Daddy, I'm sorry, it's my mistake. Then he felt sorry for being so down on his son. It was a mistake. He said, let's try it together, we'll do it together. And pieces were separate, and they find inside a note. And the note said, I may not like this menorah next year, but I want the Jewish people, my generations, to go on and light it. The father fainted. What happened? It was his father's menorah. His father was a woodcraft fan, and he had made the menorah and put the note inside. After he fainted, he said, if this is the hashgacha, divine providence, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. He said, this is the light that never ever is extinguished. May we see it and feel it, and may there be peace and security and safety for our dear families, our dear brothers and sisters.
Thank you. I want another one. It's still such a waste to throw such good cups. Yeah, listen, she's much better. And I want to have a kiddish too, but she doesn't want us to celebrate because it's an ongoing thing. We should just keep that the healing will continue. She has to take a lot of medication. She has to therapy. She's poor. She's had a few little setbacks. They were nothing. She had an infection. But she doesn't want me to say you know what I mean? Let's just, it's much better, and she's healing, and she's on the road of healing, but we're still on the road. But it's over from the works, it's not Thank you. My son is also, my other son, he's still in hospital, but he's doing better. They're looking for him to find her assisted living situation.
Like one? You could keep it or bring it back to circulate it, whatever you like. Shira Yehudi works for Mishpacha. She's a writer. She's one of the writers. Shira Yehudi.
I want to write.
You could ask her. She has for years. Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good week, and may we greet and meet each other for Mashiach. I'll show you where she is, and